Hi, guys. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, here with Star Nations Radio Network, being broadcast through Be Live TV and Facebook Land. Welcome this evening. My show is all about connecting you to your spiritual team and giving you an opportunity to do your own healing work. And I'm here simply to hold space and help move the energy of the entire group. So this is your self-care. This is your check-in. You get to set whatever intentions you would like on your healing. So if you have things that, are frustrating you or aren't working well in your life, well, ask for some of that stuck energy or resistance energy to be dissolved. If there's something that you would love to bring into your life and it's sort of just out of your reach, ask for the energy to clear on what's holding you back or what's in between you and your heart's desire. And it's great when we do it as a group here together. All of our energy holds the intention that we're here working together as a team, and all of our teams are working together. And it really amplifies the divine energy as it flows to us and through us in this, beautiful container that we have here. And I'm really thankful to Star Nations and to Be Live TV so that we can reach as many people as we can. And with that said, if you could like and share or love and share this broadcast, whether you do it on your timeline or in a group, or you send it privately through Messenger to someone who maybe could use a little TLC or a little healing, that would be great, because then our teams can get out there and make sure that this reaches whoever needs it when they need it. And I love that. My mission is to heal the healers, and we need you guys out there doing your healing work to help repair and restore our beautiful planet. So this is such a beautiful container for us to do that in. And after we do the healing meditation, I will be drawing cards. And tonight's deck is The Answer is Simple by Sonia Choquette. And, as I've said before, I really love this deck because it's very straightforward. It's not hard to misinterpret what the message is saying. I will clarify what Spirit is, saying about the card, how it applies to you. And every so often somebody gets a card and they're not really sure how it resonates for them. But remember, it's your card for this next week. So the energy may not be here yet, but in 2 or 3 days, all of a sudden you'll get a aha moment of, oh, that's what the card was about. So that's always a really, it's a lovely way for you to have a little bit of insight into what the energy is going to be for you in the next week. And, as part of our housekeeping, before I'm fully in intense channel mode, for those of you who would love to work with me or do a deeper healing for yourself, then come visit in person at Star Nations Academy. I will be there in Tomah, Wisconsin on June 14th to the 16th. And it's this very personal, we do a small group and we do a lot of vibrational healing, and we really work on what you need. What is holding you back? What is giving you difficulty? Or what are you trying to create? There's some of us who are trying to create a new book or a new business, and we're getting in our own way. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to come together in this really sacred container as we move things. And the class is called Awaken to Your Soul's Purpose, I think is how it's true pretend. I've got 3 different open houses going on. So Neshi's probably going to let me know or type it in for you guys. basically my team has been really all about all of the workshops that I'm doing this summer that are either 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day. They're all about awakening your true potential, really connecting you with who you are, and really also reminding you of the divine creator that you are and have inside of you, and that life isn't happening to you, it's happening the way you're creating it. So if you want things to change, then all we have to do is work on our creation skills, right? Our manifestation skills. And that's what we're going to be doing. So I would love to have you guys join us, because it would be a ton of fun. And I'm very excited for that. So let's get pretty close to getting busy here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make clearing noises like that. That's how I help clear the room. So take a moment to kind of get yourself comfy, grounded. Sit in your chair comfortably, or sit on the floor, or lay down, whatever works for you. I know some people even listen to this while they're going for a walk outside, which is great, because a walking meditation is lovely because you're releasing right into the earth as you're doing this. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths. And we're going to start by grounding our energy. Now you can imagine roots coming out of your feet and going deep into the earth. You can imagine a beautiful cord coming from your first chakra all the way down into the earth. And I like to imagine in the energy that's been shifting and moving and ungrounding us so easily and so quickly, I begin by imagining a cord of connection from my first chakra down my legs, through my feet, and into the ground. And when I say into the ground, I mean all the way through the miles of earth and rock, all the way to the molten lava center.
Yeah.
And then I invite my second chakra to create a grounding cord. And I have it go through my first chakra, and then down through my legs and my feet into the depths of the earth. And then I invite my third chakra to create a grounding cord, connecting to my second chakra, my first chakra, down my legs, my feet, and through the earth, all the way to the very center. And then I invite my heart chakra to connect to my third chakra, my second, my first, and all the way down through my legs and my feet to the depths of the earth. And then moving into our throat chakra, imagining a cord of connection, connecting our heart and our third chakra, our second, our first, down through our legs and our feet, and through all the layers of the earth. And connecting our third eye to our throat and our heart, to our third chakra, our second, our first, through our legs, down our feet, and through all the layers of the earth. And finally, connecting our crown chakra to our third eye, to our throat, to our heart, to our third chakra, our second, our first, and down both legs, through our feet, down into the layers of the earth. And I'm also going to invite Grandmother Earth to come up those roots and cords of connection and really grab a hold of our feet and our shins and our knees, our legs and our hips, and really connect deeply within our first chakra so that we feel held by her as well as connected through all of those cords. Now I invite you to invite in the divine, however you perceive that, however you experience that, to come in and connect with you as you do this healing this evening. And we set the intention that this healing is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And allow the energy to first come in between the crown and the third eye. Make space for any doubt or any disconnected energy from the divine to gently dissolve, allowing your hara line, your crystalline tube to gently open and hold just a little bit more energy as it flows from the divine. And moving into your third eye, releasing any energy that is causing you confusion, anxiety, or worry. Any thoughts, beliefs, or patterns that no longer resonate with who you are and who you are becoming in your soul's evolution. And opening and expanding your intuition so that you can notice and experience the divine synchronicities and messages from your spiritual team.
Yeah.
And allowing your eyes to clear so that you can see more clearly and be seen more fully by others. And opening your ears so that you can hear your spiritual team and your ancestors as they connect to you, guide you, and also so you can hear others when they are speaking their heart's truth or sharing the divine message with you. And also so that you can be heard, what you need, what you desire, what you want is heard clearly by the divine and by others. Relaxing all the tension that you've been holding in your jaw. Releasing any words that you've bitten back. And opening your throat so that your authentic truth can be spoken. Your authentic self can be expressed in all the beautiful ways that you are meant to do that. And letting the stress and the tension at the base of your skull slowly dissolve. And allowing you to feel supported in speaking and being your true self. And letting the energy release from your shoulders and your upper back, where you've been carrying a lot of responsibility. Some of it chosen, some of it given. And especially releasing any energy that feels like a burden to you. And even if you only release the energy for a few moments, just giving space for your spirit to breathe fully and restore your energy.
Yeah.
And opening your heart and your lungs and your heart chakra to hold even more divine flow, so that the breath of life can move in you and through you. So that each chamber of your heart is fully supported, making room for your inner child, your inner adult, your inner warrior, and your inner sage to have open communication with you, to be loved and respected by you and by others. And moving the heart energy into a place of gratitude and releasing anything that is feeling dense and heavy, sadness, grief, disappointment, and anything that you've taken to heart that has hurt your feelings. Allow the healing energy to move through and give you space to hold even more love and compassion for yourself and for others. And moving into the solar plexus, into your upper belly, and lovingly holding your fire element so that your passions and your desires can be expressed. Releasing any fear that has been holding you back, whether it is your fear or fear placed there by another. And allowing space for all of your anger, resentment, and judgment to gently begin to dissolve. It was meant to be felt in the moment and expressed, but not held on to.
Yeah.
And even allowing space for the righteous anger to dissolve and make room for action to be taken instead. And releasing any energy that is squeezing your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-confidence, anything that is having you feel like less than or not enough or too much. And releasing any cords of connections to others who knowingly or unknowingly have borrowed your fire or diminished your fire. And any ways that you may have done that to another.
Yeah.
And moving down into the second chakra and really allowing your water energy to return to balance, making room for you to feel all your feelings. There are no right or wrong or good or bad feelings. They're simply an indication of how you are. They're your radar. And taking a moment to lovingly acknowledge all the times that you've held your feelings back. And forgiving yourself for not being able to express them when you needed to. And restoring your relationship energy back into balance, into harmony, so that the giving and the receiving is equal on both sides. And opening your creation energy, making space for abundance to flow through you, manifestation to flow through you. And even space for you to connect to your divine sensual being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving down into the first chakra and really making even more room for you to have a sturdy foundation, releasing any energy of insecurity, whether in your home, your family, your job, empowering you to stand on your own 2 feet, fully supported by the divine energy that is yours in each and every moment. And allowing any excess energy that is not needed to fill you to release, along with all that you are willing and ready to let go of. And as it moves down your hips and your legs, down your feet, and down all of those roots and cords of connection, just take a moment to notice any other places where you may have tightness or pain, and invite the divine energy to dissolve and dissipate any heaviness, any density that you may still be carrying. And now we invite the energy from Grandmother Earth to come up and begin to fill in all of the nooks and crannies where we released energy, coming in with that warm golden energy as it moves up your feet, your ankles, filling your calves and your shins, your knees, your thighs, your hamstrings, into your pelvic floor, feeling the foundation of nurturing, loving support as it fills your whole pelvic floor and begins to move up your torso and up your spine. Cleansing and restoring all of your organs that lovingly support and hold you on your journey. And as it begins to move into your rib cage and your lungs and your heart, just really allowing some space for the heart energy to expand, to connect to your highest heart, and give you a few breaths of feeling that full connection of unconditional love, and allowing that to begin to pour down your shoulders and your arms into your hands. Moving into your throat. And up into the base of the skull, into the top of the head. And connecting to the divine as well. And then gently allowing the energy to overflow down your body, over your head, to cleanse, restore, and repair your aura in all of its beautiful layers. In front of you, behind you, and on either side of you, as well as above you and below you.
Yeah.
And let's take a moment to send healing energy to Grandmother Earth for all that she does to hold us, to nurture us, to provide us with food and water and shelter and air to breathe. And sending the energy to all the beings who inhabit this planet with us.
Yeah.
And take a moment of gratitude to thank your spiritual team for being here, for connecting you, for guiding you. You can gently begin to bring yourself back to dissolve the meditation. You can rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, take a sip of water, whatever you need. And again, tonight's cards are going to be from the Answer is Simple deck by Sonia Choquette. And if you would like a card drawn, you just type in yes, please, and we will call them in the order that we see them in the production studio. It doesn't always match what you see there in Facebook land. It's because often they're coming from multiple postings to get to us. So it may not look in order for you, but it is in the order that we receive it here in our studio. So I'm going to start with Rob Kendall. So Rob, your card is Accept Love. I'm trying to get it to a place where you can see it better. Maybe a little closer. There we go. So Accept Love is pretty straightforward. And what that means and what that stands for today is that, you know, there are times when we don't feel great about ourselves and we don't feel great physically. And when that happens, we are usually depleted energetically. And it's great that you're here to fill up your cup by doing the meditation, but also allow yourself space to accept love from other people when it's offered to you. And that may sound easy, but when we're in a place where we don't love ourselves fully, it's really hard to imagine that somebody else could hold love for us. And, there have been people around you who've been mirroring love to you. And sometimes it's hard to receive that. And so I'm inviting you, and Spirit's inviting you, to just stop and just assume you're worthy of receiving love and allow your heart to take that in. That will do more for your healing than any class, workshop, message you could get. When we open our hearts and we allow ourselves to receive love from others, then we truly are learning how to be a soul being here on this divine planet. Phew. All right. Christine. Say I'm sorry. I'll tell you. I've pulled that card every single time we've done this entire month. And what's so interesting is almost every time I pull that card, I get a message from the person angry. But what I say comes through spirit. I don't know your life and your circumstances. So here we go again. So when this card comes up, usually there's somebody in our lives that needs an apology, that maybe we said something a little more harshly than we wish we did. Maybe we neglected something or forgot to do something, and someone else's feelings were hurt. Now, this card this month has also been big for the fact that sometimes you need to say you're sorry to yourself. And the sorry to yourself is, I'm sorry I put myself in this position. I'm sorry that this had to be such a difficult decision. I'm sorry that I chose to incarnate on this crazy planet and do this all again. But whatever the sorry is, it's meant to be heartfelt, not the bump into somebody at the grocery store and say you're sorry when you don't even make eye contact. This is a heart-to-heart, true I'm sorry. And if you don't know who the sorry is for today, give it a few days, because it will show up. And I'll tell you, the first person that you think of, that's who it's meant for. All right, Julie. All right, Julie, your card is Say Yes. And Say Yes is often the universe has been giving you lots of like wonderful possibilities. And your whole team is sitting there waiting, going, say yes, say yes. Because it's something that is in alignment with your soul and your soul's mission and your soul purpose. Of course, saying yes can be, to a marriage proposal. But lots of times saying yes is saying yes to yourself. Saying yes to something that you've wanted, you've desired, and the opportunity for you to create it or start it or move forward with it shows up, and we hesitate and we put other people first. Well, I don't know. Will they like it? Do they want it? It's being put in front of you for you just to say yes. So be on the lookout, because that usually means something big from spirit. And I look forward to hearing what your yes is, because that's a big deal. All right. Andrew. So Andrew, your card is Just Sing. And the Just Sing comes in when we need to open our throat chakra. And we freak out about talking to people or saying what we need to say. And so we just need some vibrational healing that comes only from our authentic truth and from our joy. So this means cranking up the radio in your car and singing along to music that you love, or putting it on in the house and jumping around and dancing. But this is about calling in joy and using your throat and your voice as part of your self-expression. Don't worry if anybody else can hear you, because we often get self-conscious. But it's just time to open that throat and start using it. And that will allow you to express even more things in a creative fashion. And singing is easy and we all can do it. We just sometimes are shy about it. So just sing, get it out there. Go do karaoke. All right, Barbie. So Barbie, this card is Talk to God. And talk to God comes in when we're in a place where we have a lot of questions and we want to know the answers. And we're going around asking everybody that we know, and some of them we know better than to ask them, because they're going to answer in their truth. So for you to really hear your truth, it's time for you to sit down and talk to God or the divine, however you see that. And I love to do that through automatic writing. I will ground and meditate in the morning, just to kind of open my energy up to my connection. And if I have questions, I write them down, and I leave space and I wait. And the first thing that you hear come through, write that down, or just allow your pen to write the answer. And it can take a little bit of practice, but before you know it, you will be having a conversation with the divine. And a lot of things will get answered for you beautifully and rapidly. Okay. Marie. All right. So Marie, your card is See the Light. I love the children flying around in the sky. And see the light is there's magic all around us. You can be amongst the stars and focus on the dark, or you can see all the stars and the light. So what it's saying is look for the positive. Look for what's going right. It's so easy to get caught up in complaining about everything that's wrong and focusing on the negative, that we don't shift our energy into our heart and into gratitude. So if you're having trouble seeing the light around you, just start listing off things that you're grateful for. I had some wonderful things all happen magically this morning. I got to see, a mom and dad turkey with all their little babies, their 7 little babies, cross my road. And later I saw this beautiful red fox. And if I'd been in a hurry, I wouldn't have seen any of that. And if I'd been focused on all of the negative, I wouldn't have had those moments of light. And it really fills your heart and it leaves room for magic things to happen. So I invite you to focus on that. All right, Christina. Yes, we're doing great here. I love this one. This is probably Neshi's nemesis at the moment. So this is the detox card. It's the beautiful, margarita glass filled with grass. And detox is just a normal thing here in the springtime. We carry all this stuck energy from the winter and it needs to shed. Our liver needs a break. And so often we need to switch our food. We need to up our intake of water. The other detox that it's been coming in really strongly for clients, I've said it at least a half a dozen times in the last week, is detoxing from our electronic devices, putting them to bed an hour or two before we go to bed so that our nervous system isn't overstimulated. And so I'm not sure what your detox is, but I'm feeling that that might be part of it too. And remember that one of the great ways to release that overstimulated energy is to get out in nature and take a walk, or even just take a nap outside and just allow the energy to melt into Mother Earth. And that will help with your detoxification. But remember the food and the water. All right. Bobby, of course. So right now, Spirit is saying stop. Don't take it personally. I know you're a jump right in kind of gal. But what it's saying is you don't have, right this minute, you don't have all the information you need to make a good decision or a decision that's in alignment with your soul. And so this is a time to like really pause, give yourself time to think things through because things aren't quite as it seems. So, here are these cute little penguins all lined up to jump into the water and there's a shark in the water. So, we don't want you to jump into shark infested waters right now, right? So it's take a moment and make sure that you have all the information you need, that it's safe for you to take action. And this isn't like a permanent stuck thing. It's more like you've been running, and it's like you're at a red light. So stop, jog in place for a few minutes, take a few deep breaths, and as soon as the light changes, you'll be ready to go again. All right, Pat. Perfect. Your card is Just Laugh. You're a good laugher. So the Just Laugh is laughter is sometimes the best medicine. It moves energy that's dense quickly, and it opens up your heart and allows space to come in. I'm a huge fan of, watching funny shows or movies, especially children's movies that, that are made for kids. There's nothing quite like it to get in kind of that, like laughing at the silly humor. And when we laugh, we can't be sad, at least for that quick moment. And our energy isn't heavy. So this is a way to lighten and brighten your energy, and maybe find some good friends to laugh with. Who's got a good sense of humor, who cracks you up all the time. That's who you need to call or hang out with. And sometimes get around some kids because kids are pretty good at it too. All right, Jackie Long. I'm not trying to say your last name. Najowski or something. Yeah, you know who you are. So your card, sweetie, is Thank God. So the Thank God card comes in when things have been going your way, right? Things have been, there have been a number of things that have been working out for you. Gratitude, say thank you for the little things. And, you don't need to be rescued. You can rescue yourself and thank the divine every time something falls into alignment for you. And they can be little tiny things. They can be, being able to get to your appointment on time. It can be having a great parking space. It can be having the money appear to pay all your bills on time. Whatever it is you have that you can be thankful for, the more we are thankful, the more we have to be thankful for. So when we're feeling like things aren't going well, if we start doing gratitude for all the little things, then the bigger things that we are wanting or desiring in our life start to show up. All right. These are pretty basic, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry. I love it. All right. Jackie Fitzpatrick. I love that we had the Jackies together. So this one is a tough one for us ladies sometimes. Love your body. Love it in all its curves, its shapes, its sizes. It is exactly the right house for you. And when we love our body, it means we take care of it. We give it the rest it needs. We give it the food it needs. We give it the exercise it needs, but we don't shame ourselves when we don't. We do the best that we can. We're human beings. And sometimes the best is not terrific. But all through that, thank your body for holding you up, from getting you to point A to point B. Not everybody has a body that is fully active any longer. And being thankful for when it does get you up and gets you moving. That is such a big gift, and we don't always say thank you for that. And then the other piece of loving your body is really take some time to release any energy. I'm sort of what I'm seeing as a picture. And boy, this would be a good exercise for everybody in the chat room, is to be able to stand naked in the mirror and really look at yourself and love every curve, every stretch mark, they all got you through things. If they were battle wounds and scars, you're like, oh, this came from this war or this battle, and this came from this. And, it's like, that came from birthing my children, right? And what a gift that was, so if I have stretch marks because of that, oh, well, right? And just really being thankful, because we have a very warped sense of body, what body is supposed to look like, especially in this country. And the ideal person is you right now. There's nobody better out there than you, because you are your unique self, and you're supposed to be exactly the way you are. So love that body. All right. Susan. So your card is Rise and Shine. Whenever I see the Rise and Shine card, it's get up and shine your light. You've been hiding behind closed curtains. You've been laying down on the job. It's time for you to get up off your fanny and start shining your light. So how are you going to do that? How is Susan going to be Susan out in the world? And even if you don't know, you get out there and you start smiling at other people and saying hello and just being genuine, and just see what kind of ripple of healing energy that can create. It doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It can literally be, going out and taking a stroll and saying hello to people who are by themselves, so that they feel seen and heard. How about that? It's nice and easy. All right, Carol. Wow, it's funny. The other one was say yes, and yours is say no. Say no is just as powerful as saying yes. Saying no is when we say no and we mean it, rather than going, oh, sure, I can do that. And then an hour later, we're like putting ourselves down because we don't really have time or we don't really want to do it. Use your truth button and say no when you mean it. And if the other person is offended, well, that's on them. You're just stating your truth. So there's a lot of power in being able to say yes when you mean it and no when you mean it. And right now you have some boundary setting to do with some people who are asking too much of you or taking up too much of your time. And so find the no word and start using it. And also know that, you know, the first few times we say no to people and they're not expecting it because we always say yes, they're going to be surprised. But that doesn't mean you're mean or you're not a nice person or whatever. It just means that you are starting to exert some healthy boundaries for other people to live by. No big deal. All right, say no. CindyLyn. Open your heart. I love this one because of all the butterflies as well. So opening the heart is really making room for more love to come in, more love to be shared. You know, we all have wounds, right? And do you wear your wound every day? And if you do, then you're shielded and your heart is closed off because we don't want our heart to get hurt again. So this is saying, make some room, open your heart. Part of learning how to be in our soul mission is opening our heart to love and trusting that our heart is going to be okay, even if it gets dinged a little bit, because being open is expanding our energy field and it's allowing the divine energy to flow through. And that allows us to heal ourselves and heal other people by being connected to them. So open that up and let it shine, okay? All right. Jacquelyn. Your card is connect with your soul family. The soul family is not always our family that we are born into. Our soul family are the people that get us, who know us, and we don't have to pretend to be somebody else. And it's time to kind of bring your vibration into a place of healing. And when we don't have to expend a lot of energy pretending to be who other people want us to be, when we can relax and be ourselves, it gives us a chance to reboot our energy. So whether that's like gathering with like-minded people and taking a class that you've been wanting to take, or spending time with like your sisters, and you know, even if it's just having lunch together, that fills you up, right? When you have that connection. We have this glorious technology that will let us connect to anyone, anywhere on the planet. So don't be afraid to use it, so that you can release any of these feelings of disconnect or feelings of being alone or lonely, because our soul family knows just how to fill us up, and we do the same for them. Okay, Karen. All right. Your card is You Are Not Afraid. I love the David and Goliath type of energy in this card. And when this card comes up, it's really clear that you may have something big that seems insurmountable or like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. What your team is reminding you is you don't need to be afraid. You are taken care of. You are supported. Get fear out of your psyche, out of your thoughts. And fear can be anything that isn't really love energy. So call on that big heart and ask it to guide you through this. And just because we are going through something difficult doesn't mean it's bad. And we don't have to be afraid of the outcome, and we don't have to be afraid of change. So it's saying, you're not afraid. You're ready. You're wanting this. So anytime you want to go into that nervous energy of like anxiety, know that it's masking some fear. Take a deep breath and go, I'm not afraid, and go for it. Okay, Anne. I love this card. I need this sometimes. Get over yourself. The get over yourself card is when we create drama in our head, like, oh my gosh, this is happening, or I can't, what do I do about this? And we start to create some sort of weird story that's not totally true. But, there is a reason as a country we're, addicted to all these drama shows. And because we're addicted to all these drama shows, we feel like our life has to be just as dramatic as those 1 hour, sitcoms that you watch. But it's like, when we got to get over ourselves, it's because we're taking life too seriously. We're taking a situation too seriously, and there's no need. And Sonia Choquette, who wrote the deck, often she's like, when you're having trouble getting over yourself, it's time to laugh at yourself. Laugh at the way you're reacting. Laugh at like, oh my gosh, can you believe I'm doing this again? That's how you start to get over yourself. All right. And we all do it. We all do it. I've seen this card a few times myself. All right. Lynn. Your card is Celebrate You. And what I'm getting for you, sweetie, is that you're really good at applauding other people, saying, wow, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Or, and you're like the cheerleader for everybody around you. When was the last time you celebrated you? You were a cheerleader for you, and let yourself celebrate some of the things you've accomplished, some of the things you've gotten through. And, if you had a friend just like you, she would be going, yay, Lynn, I can't believe it. You're great. So be the cheerleader for yourself. I love when I celebrate me. I will buy myself a card that I would have loved to receive, and I put it on my altar. I might even buy myself flowers that I love. And maybe you, like if you have celebration food that you love, make it for yourself and sit down and enjoy it and have that celebration. Because Spirit is celebrating you already. So join the party. All right, Kristen. So I would love a card about Matt and I, and if he will be reaching out anytime soon. Okay, so the card I pulled before I even read what you said is Clear the Fog. So when there's fog between people, it means that, you're not seeing things clearly, and you're not seeing things the same way. So it takes a little time for the fog to dissipate so that you have room to actually see clearly each other. And if we try to muck our way through the fog, we end up getting lost. And we also aren't seeing the same thing. I don't know if you've ever been out in the fog with a friend and you're walking, you actually will see very different things because so much stuff is in shadow because there's not enough light getting through. So this is a time where it's time for you to get some light energy to come in for you. You can only clear your end of the fog. And that usually means doing some meditation, going for some walks in nature, releasing energy that's stuck to you so that you aren't feeling foggy either. And I'm hearing not so much caffeine, not so much sugar, because maybe those are accelerating your heart rate, which also makes it hard for the brain to function. Brain loves water. And I'm horrible at it. But I also know that, it doesn't help me, like a shower wakes you up first thing in the morning. It helps you wake up. And it's not something you put in your body. It's something that you help your body to release all of the foggy energy from sleep. So I feel like you need a little space and clear the fog on your end. And don't assume that he's the one who should be reaching out. Maybe you're the one once you get clear. All right, Joanne, of course. Joanne, spread the light. However you shine it. Get it out there. Stop hiding. We need everybody to shine their light in their own unique way. And how can you spread the light? I say this all the time, smiling at somebody in the grocery store, saying thank you, or how's your day? Seeing people, recognizing them, allowing them to feel like they matter. I love to put away grocery carts for the elderly or people who are struggling like with a walker or crutches. And it takes 2 seconds of my time. But the amount of gratitude energy that flows between our hearts because I saw them in need and did something about it. You hold the door for a mom who's struggling with 3 kids in a stroller. Doesn't take you any time to share the light, but it could make that person's day. So get out there and shine your light because we need it. All right, Tina. Sorry, it took me a moment. All right, Tina. We're hitting a theme here. Lend a hand. I'll tell you, somebody got the lend a hand card. I think it was last week. And it was another card. It was as bad as the I'm sorry. All the stuff I do, they want me to do more. It's not about doing more. Lending a hand is that just being aware for the next week. When you're out and about, just be aware of somebody who could use a helping hand. Doesn't mean you have to bend over backwards and give more of your time, blah, blah, blah. It means hold the door for somebody who needs it. Maybe, there's somebody that's related to you who, they need to run a quick errand and you watch their dog. It can be really helpful to somebody when we take a few minutes of our time to help out. It's paying it forward. Do we all remember that? Paying it forward by doing something nice for somebody else. It gives us space to receive nice things to happen to us. So for all of us who are lending a hand or doing something for other people right now, it's so that in a few months when we need something desperately, it can come to us because we've put all that energy forward toward it. Okay. Hoping for a different kind of card. All right, Brenda. Yay! Decorate. I love it. This bird's all decked out. decorate comes in because when we're feeling blah, it helps to spruce up our environment. It helps to switch our furniture around. It helps to put a new pillow on your sofa or put fresh flowers on the table. It doesn't have to be, like do-it-yourself home renovation time. Decorating can just be switching some colors around so that you feel fresh. One of the things that I love to do kind of regularly is get new towels for my bathroom, because it's just nice to have a brand new poofy towel. And the animal shelters are always in need of towels. So I'm paying, I take my old towels to the animal shelter so that they can have them for the kitties and the doggies who are coming in. And I can have something new and beautiful. It's a win-win. So decorating doesn't have to be big, but it makes a lot of room for joy in our environment and our space. Yay. All right. Bonnie, welcome to the show. So your card is decide the outcome. There we go. Sorry about that. Still learning my new camera. So decide the outcome is kind of this judge, a little bit of a judge energy, but you're weighing options. So what I'm seeing for you is in the next week that you have some decisions to make, and there's pros and cons to each thing. And this isn't about the right or wrong decision. That's been a big message from Spirit lately, is that when we have decisions, there's no right or wrong. So stop worrying about that and just decide. Take a deep breath. I check in my body which one feels better. So if I have a decision, one decision, I check in my body and it's like, okay, that makes my heart expand. If I think about that, it makes my tummy squeeze and tighten. So I'm like, I'm going to pick the one that my heart connects to. And if I don't enjoy the outcome, well, then I course correct and I do something different. So there's never a wrong decision. But you've got all the information that you need. So it's just time to decide the outcome. All right. Allie. All right. Your card is clean up your mess. I love it. This has so many meanings, because I'm seeing like a dirty bedroom and dishes in the sink and, I'm seeing that kind of mess, but I'm also seeing like two friends like having an argument and you're like, oh, I wish I didn't say that. So there's a lot of fire energy going on right now. So a lot of people are agitated or frustrated, and, with people you love, you kind of lash out at them because they can take it generally. So it's kind of time to clean up all of those messes. So think about who you've made a mess of conversationally, and then ways that you can clean up your environment. Because generally our environment is a reflection of how we feel on the inside. So if we have chaos in our environment, we have chaos going on inside. And so whenever I'm feeling stuck or unsettled, the first thing I start doing is going through my closets and my drawers and getting rid of anything that I don't like, it doesn't fit, and making space for things to get back to a more organized state. Because I can be a complete tornado, and I got an idea that you can be too. All right, Margaret. Hope to see Margaret soon. She's being told to have fun. My inner child would like to come play. Let's go on the merry-go-round, Yeah, sometimes we need to have fun and lighten up. Take life seriously all the time. It's time to play. So what can you do to get out there and play? There's so many cool things when the weather's nice that we can get outside and just have fun. We can go for a bike ride or go for a walk. And I don't know about you, where you're living, we've got all of these places popping up that are like video games and bowling and all of these like entertainment things that you can go do, and they're meant for adults to do the things we used to do when we were kids, and they're a blast, and get somebody to play with. It's great to have fun, but it's more fun when you share it with others. So get out there, maybe go to a fair or something like that, but just do something that really brings some joy to you, and let it fill you up. Kimberly, you're up late. Glad you're here with us. So your card is Give It to God. And I love the symbolism of letting the balloons go and letting them go up. I don't know if you've ever, seen that where you, if you have problems that you want to hand to the divine, you tie it to the balloon and you send it up. I like to do that through a sacred fire. If I have things that I would like to release in my life, or problems that I need help with, I like to write them down, and I burn them in a sacred fire. And you can do it how you like to do it. Some people purify them with water. I tend to, I must have enough dragon energy. I like to see it burn. I like to see the shape that the paper takes as it's transmuting the prayers to go up to the divine. And I put sage and tobacco, and even sometimes I feel drawn to put in like cornmeal, because it's actually asking something to grow. But whatever you feel drawn to, find a way to ask, God to take over. So you stop freaking out and worrying about it. It gets spinning in our head, and then it takes up all of our mental capacity and our time. You can even write it down and put it in a box and just ask for the divine every day to take care of what's in the box. All right. I'm glad you joined us tonight. And Sandy. This one's cute. It's not an emergency. The doctor's jumping up and down, freaking out. And this is just saying like, hey, don't be so dramatic. Things sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, I got to take care of this. And we get all spinny in fake urgency. When you feel that anxious, urgent energy come in, stop and take a deep breath. And if not, take 3 or 4. And then once you've got your lungs filled with breath again, your body filled with air, reevaluate whether it's an emergency or not. Because lots of times we can really just start spinning and create this story of it has to be done now and the world is going to end if it doesn't. And the reality is you could put it away for 3 or 4 days and the world wouldn't end. So when you feel that urgency, really try to breathe into it and give yourself some space to let it go. And then see if it really is that dramatic, because often it's not. All right. And I'm going to give the last card to Neshi, my co-producer. I love this card for you, lady. Be courageous. She's on the horse. She's got it all settled. She's got her staff. And, you know, it's that when we're making changes, we know they need to happen and we want to create new things, but there's times when we're like, oh no, what am I doing? And this is one of those times to just kind of take a deep breath and keep moving forward. You know, you're spearheading a lot for Star Nations in many different ways than we even know. So just keep sitting in that courageous space and know that we all trust you to guide us and lead us. And we're going to follow your horse wherever you take us. So with that, you guys, I'm going to remind you, I'm going to be at Star Nations Academy, June 14th through the 16th. And there are a lot of you who I'm sure could get like some movement in their life, would like to really step in alignment with your soul's purpose, and open up the gifts that you have. I've had a lot of people asking me, how do I open my spiritual gifts? Well, come to the class and find out. When you're in the vibration that happens like we're having here, but one-on-one in the same room, it's powerful. And you almost have no choice but to allow your energy to open and expand. And we'd love to have you, and you can sign up right on Star Nations Academy. And yeah, we can have some fun. Tomorrow we've got a brand new show coming up with Neshi and Ortun. I can't think of Carl
and Orchard.
Carl.
Yeah.
Carl and Orchard. Oh my gosh. Neshi, it's Living in Two Worlds, I think.
Yeah.
Look on Star Nations and you'll find it, but it's why I don't know. It's a brand new show. And they're going to be talking about the divas, which actually I'm really excited about, because the water divas have been coming in, probably because I'm trying to move to the ocean soon. But the divas are here, and how do we connect with them? And that's what their show's about. So come join us tomorrow night at 8:00, and always the live card draw at 3 Eastern Standard Time with Neshi. Because that gives you an idea of the energy of the day and what's going on the planet. And with that, guys, I'll see you here next week for Soul Connections on Wednesday at 7, or Chakra Sessions on Tuesday at noon. And have a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.